shot in title game history? We'll ask you and Coach Knight for his opinion. Well, some of the great clutch shots in national title game history. Of course, Michael Jordan's jumper for North Carolina back in 1982. The dunk off the air ball for Lorenzo Charles at NC State in 1983. Keith Smart with a jumper that gives Bob Knight his third national championship in 87. Scotty Thurman's three in the final minute lifts Arkansas over Duke. Or just this past spring, Mario Chalmers with the three that forced overtime and helped Kansas rally to beat Memphis. So those are 5 of the greatest shots in championship game history right now on ESPN.com. Which one do you think is the greatest clutch shot in title game history? Now, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say you might be slightly biased toward one of these particular
let
shots.
Me say that my favorite shot in title game history was Keith Smart's jump shot. My favorite play, clutch play to win a national championship, was Darryl Thomas' pass that led to that open shot. Darryl Thomas is the one that I remember even more than the shooter.
Now, this is 21 years ago now. Refresh our memories. Was it a set play out of a timeout? Was it a broken play? How did the play develop?
We didn't call a timeout. With 20 seconds left, we left our kids try to get open with Steve Alford, and when he couldn't get open, Darryl had the ball inside and made the best move I've ever seen a kid make under pressure. He didn't take a forced shot. He saw Keith open and made the pass to him. It's the best singular play I've ever had a player make.
A thrilling game in 1987 as Indiana beats Syracuse by 1 for Coach Knight's third national championship. Thomas open in the corner. Misses the three. Long rebound to Kansas. Collins with a full head of steam. And a block is the call. And it's the officials getting the Bronx cheer right now.
Collins is actually kind of lucky on this call because he really forces a play. He goes to the right hand, and he's not going to be able to get a shot up. But he got into the guy, and again, as Dan has mentioned, that kid has got great strength with the ball.
Vinoy Overton is called for the foul as we get more from Doris Burke.
Dan, you touched on the fact that earlier in September, Sharon Collins got an earful from Bill Self for his lack of conditioning. I asked Sharon about that. He said, I flat out needed it. He said, I was lulled into complacency a year ago in terms of my leadership role. There were such great upperclassmen, Russell Robinson, Brandon Rush, that I didn't have to be a leader. He said, naturally, by personality, that is my nature. He said, so I'm truly looking forward to all eyes being on me. It certainly looks like his skills are up to it, guys.
You know, that pass I mentioned by Darryl Thomas would, I think, remind me of the kinds of assists that Doris made when she was a player, because she was one of the best passers ever in the history of women's basketball. So I'm sure she would appreciate Darryl's pass.
A steal by Collins. Great body control.
If we have a replay on that, you'll see how he goes up with his right hand on his left side and then changes the ball, keeping in his right hand to the other side to avoid the block and get the bucket.
14 now for Collins, and Kansas up by 19 on Washington. Thomas inside, can't finish. Markieff Morris the rebound. Washington has scored just 6 points here in the second half in better than 6 minutes of action. Collins with a pull-up on a high arcing three, way short.
Too much pressure, too quick to take that shot. He should have given Aldridge a chance to get inside.
Pondexter passes up the open three. They just have not been able to solve the zone.
Really good help and play by Reed in defense in the corner from the top of that zone. Oh, they're going to slow it down a little bit now, Dan. They're going to be really careful on this next shot they get, which is very good.
Is this a call that came from the bench or just a Collins get?
No, I think so. They're setting it up with a one-man front, and they're going to see what they can do with that. They're going to take a little time on this shot.
Morningstar and Reed out there in the backcourt. Collins lobs it inside for Aldridge. He goes around Wolfinger but misses the reverse.
You know, the miss, to me, is not nearly as important as the move that was made there.
And the move at the other end is the fifth, now sixth block of the night for Cole Aldridge. Pondexter the foul.
All right, you better really look at some up and down the floor. Great play by Aldridge. He misses his shot, but it's a great quick move. going in there to the bucket, the reverse layup, using the protection of the basket. And then at the defensive end, he blocks the shot once. He gets an umbrella on the guy and blocks it again. He does a really good job, and this is good coaching. He does a great job of being upright, keeping his hands straight up, and not